Good evening, Zimbabweans all over the world, wherever you may be. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is a special program, a special edition of the situation in Ukraine and how it's affecting a lot of our brothers in Ukraine, our brothers and sisters who are stranded at the moment in Ukraine. We just want to take a few minutes just before the Twitter Spaces that's coming up, that is being hosted by the Diaspora Network for Change, that is going to touch in detail about this situation. And we are joined by a couple of leaders. Hopefully we'll get someone in Ukraine at the moment who is going to talk to us about the situation that they're in. My name is Sophia Tekwani. Thank you so much for joining us. We have Citizen Oscar Hute, who is currently in the EU. He's one of the senior members, leaders of the EU province. We also have Gary, who will be joining us from the EU as well. And let's get straight into it because time is not on our side and we have a lot that we need to talk about. So I'll start with you, Citizen Oscar. But before we go there, I just want to show you a video. Actually, maybe let's go into Citizen Oscar and who can just give us a detail of the initiatives that the EU is taking. Citizen Oscar, please greet the viewers and just proceed. Citizen Oscar. Okay, I think while we're reconnecting there, I'll just show you a video of the lack of support from the sitting government, the illegitimate government in Zimbabwe.
Can you hear the noise of students?
I'm just getting the correct video there. But it's the ambassador who is speaking out, who has come in and said that really there's nothing that they can do for the citizens that are stuck in Ukraine at the moment. And they must find their own way and make their own way to Poland or Germany, which is a bit ridiculous because most of these are students that really do not have the means to pay for trips to Poland. And even if they do pay for the trips to Poland, there's they need a visa to go from Ukraine to go to Poland. So, you know, we're stuck by ourselves where the government says you're stuck on your own, find your own way. But there is Citizen Oscar on the line. Citizen Oscar, would you like to greet the viewers and just give in detail what is going on? Oh, yeah, I think we have a problem with the connection there. But in the meantime, here's the video of the ambassador to Germany, basically telling the students to find their own way to safety.
Good morning, fellow Zimbabweans. I'm speaking from Berlin as ambassador of Zimbabwe in Berlin, covering Poland and Ukraine. And we are encouraging all Zimbabwean citizens, in light of the crisis thereof, to find their way, if possible, to Poland. And as the Zimbabwe government, we are preparing to evacuate our citizens from Poland now that there is no airspace in Ukraine. And if possible, there are buses, I understand, in some places where you can travel by road to Poland. If you can find your way to Poland, we will be able to coordinate from Poland and we'll be able to buy tickets to evacuate you from Poland to Zimbabwe. But if you happen to find your way to Berlin, we can as well process the tickets from Berlin to Zimbabwe. So we are here to protect your interests, and your safety is our interest as well. So I encourage you, my Zimbabweans, kuti coordinate well, tibatane pamwe chete in the light of the crisis and make sure that each and every one of us is safe. Thank you so much.
All right, Maitabas. So I would also like to ask you one question. Yekuti, leaving the Ukraine to Poland, you would need a visa, or leaving the Ukraine to Germany, you would need a visa. Is there any negotiations with those countries so that they would allow Zimbabwean passport holders to work for the borders? Yeah, I think it's more information.
In the light of the crisis, we had tried even to get access to the German embassy in Ukraine, but they said they'd already closed their visa or consular services.
Okay.
And they had already left the country. And that's why we are now talking of Poland, of which it can be by road, maybe by virtue of the crisis in place. We anticipate that the borders will be not that strict to allow everyone who needs to be moving from Ukraine. But we will also get in touch with the Polish embassy in Berlin and try to negotiate that the Zimbabweans be allowed to pass through to Berlin.
All right.
To Poland, I mean.
Oh, it's okay. Major Basa, thank you so much.
Yeah, so there we have the ambassador to Germany and Poland, where there is no solution from the embassy, and they're coming out and saying that, you know what, we can't even have a diplomatic route here because the embassy for Germany has been closed. And these are the people who are supposed to be looking out for these children. They are children. Most of them are students. Yes, you're right, Lima, Mimi. Most of them are students, and they are stranded there, and there's nothing that the embassy in Germany has offered so far. But in light of that, we have the CCC coming out and issuing a statement, which I'll be playing later, and supporting the students who are stuck there in Ukraine, and actually, offering assistance in the terms of transportation and getting these people together. So far, we understand that the CCC has coordinated for 200 people to be placed in a place of safety. And they will be hosting a Twitter Spaces starting in the next 5 minutes to mobilize support in terms of funds and transportation to get most of these students out of Ukraine. So I'm just going to try and get Citizen Oscar again on the line so that they can tell us and give us details of what is going on, and how, if anyone is stranded, can get in touch with the CCC in the EU and possibly find their way to safety. I think there was also someone who was going to be with us, but there is the CCC Diaspora Network for Change banner where they're saying, attention Zimbabwean diaspora in the Ukraine, please call or WhatsApp on the number +49 157 3699 5414. And they can get assistance to try and keep them together and also mobilize for them to be put in a place of safety. So there we have our government in waiting, acting as if it is the sitting government and actually doing something and showing care and concern for those people who are stuck in Ukraine at the moment in the war situation. We also have, I think, the chairperson for the EU, Citizen Wilson Tetwa, who is coordinating with his team, his leadership team in the EU, the CCC, Citizens Coalition for Change in the EU, just to try and assist these students wherever they can. So we're just waiting for that statement from him before we go to our live Twitter Spaces, where the Citizens Diaspora Network for Change is going to be hosting a lot of senior party officials who will then speak more about what is going on in the Ukraine. So while we're waiting for that, I think there's a statement that's coming. While we're waiting for that, we just show you some comments and some images that are coming out of Ukraine, where we have over 200 students so far that have been put in a place of safety by the CCC Citizens Coalition for Change and are awaiting possible uh, uh, deployment to a safe space. If I can just show you a few comments as well that are coming in while we're waiting for the statement by the chairman of the EU Assembly, Citizen Wilson Mtetwa. Okay, and we have Nikki Nicole Wolfen saying Ramaphosa atora vekunyika kwake Zim vachiri busy kuBotswana uko. So there we go again. We have South Africa being on the lead and taking care of its citizens, which is what Zimbabwe has dismally failed to do. That's a cry for help from Melissa Charuvira saying, please, I am in Ukraine. I am a Zimbabwean. Please help us. We need assistance. Some of us have been hurt. Please tell the authorities to help us. So that's a cry for help there from one of the students that are stuck in the Ukraine, and the CCC coming out in full force and trying to mobilize assistance to get those citizens that are stranded out of Ukraine and into safety, a place of safety. I think the statement by the chairman is almost ready. So while we're waiting for that, let me also just put up a few comments from our listeners. There we go. We have Sean Mahere saying, now we want to see what ED and his government are going to do. Unfortunately, Sean, we have seen that the ambassador, who is the representative of the government, has said they cannot do anything. And they just wait for those people who are stranded in the Ukraine to come out and just make their own way, basically find their own way, and telling them they're on their own. So here's the statement by the chairperson, the chairman of the CCC Assembly in the EU, Citizen Wilson Mtetwa.
The situation in Ukraine requires urgent assistance to the Zimbabwean community there. We have about 171 people that we have located, of which all of them are students, and 143 they are in the capital city, of which is already invaded by Russia. They are together, and we are trying to offer them assistance. The biggest challenge that we are facing is the Zimbabwean government have said they can only offer help when the people are in Poland. So the biggest task that we have is to move our people from Ukraine to Poland. They are on their own at the moment. They are together. We are trying to secure food for them and transport out of Ukraine to Poland. That is what we are facing at the moment. 31 of the 171 people in a seat that is relatively safe at the moment, but we are monitoring the situation and we want to see how best it goes.
Right, there we go. That's the chairman of the EU Assembly, Citizen Wilson Mtetwa, giving us an official statement on the initiatives that him and his team have taken to try and secure or try and find a place of safety and security for these Zimbabwean citizens that are stranded in the EU, in the Ukraine, I beg your pardon, and just trying to mobilize funds and transport for them to get out of the Ukraine and into the relatively safer Poland and Germany. So there we have it, listeners and viewers. Our 15 minutes of just giving you an update of the emergency situation that is happening in the Ukraine at the moment and of the Zimbabweans that are stranded. But please stay tuned because we will be crossing over live to Twitter Spaces that is coming up and being hosted by the Citizens Diaspora Network for Change. And they'll be talking more in detail and in depth about what is going on and the plans to help these students and other Zimbabweans that are stuck in the Ukraine. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay tuned to Change Radio and ZimI and get more details of what is happening in Ukraine. So from myself, Sophia Tekwani, and the rest of the Change Radio team, thank you so much for joining us. Have a good night.
Vana veZimbabwe vabvuma naivo vati nyangwe mapurisa abvuma naivo vati masoja abvumawo naivo vati